So about that difficult song and those difficult licks, there were these things that, you know, when you're in Steve's band, it's one of these things where it's not enough to just play the notes. It's kind of like we were talking about before. You've got to play them exactly the way that he does them. And when you're a bass player, that means dealing with some very unorthodox left-hand fingering for the most part. So there are these licks that come in rapid succession. And the first one, these are the notes. Okay, so pretty simple, you know, D, A, E, A, C, G, D, D. Just really fast, like da ba da ba da da da. Okay, but the thing is that he's using a lot of pull-offs and hammer-ons like a guitarist would. So what he's doing is he's gonna strike the D on the A string first and then pull off. And then strike the open E and then hammer on the A. So, like that. And then strike the G, or strike the C, excuse me, and then the G, and then pull off here onto the open D, and then strike a fretted D on the A string right after it. So that's, so the whole thing is, and if you do it fast, it just kind of rolls, like that. Again, you can dance to it. All right, so there you go. And then there's three more licks just like it, which is just another series of notes with the same concept. And then, all right, then you've got this really long one, which is kind of like this is like mini Nightmare before the real Nightmare. So here's the first one. So it starts off with an A major triad, and then a D5, like 5-1-5, A, D, A, and then a hammered on F major 7, then pull off the open G, and then play the top two notes of an A7, or the third and the 7 of an A7. And it's like this. Fast. That was sloppy. That was better. Like that. Okay? And, you know, this is coming, you know, you're doing this live, you know, you get one shot at it. So let's get to the really hard one. You get the same three ones again, and then you do this, third one, and then the really long one. That's hard, okay? So let's recount that. That's the beginning is the same, the A major, the D5, hammered on F major 7, the pull off there, and then then it changes, then it goes to a G major, and then to an A major, where you hit the open A, then fret the 12th fret A, and then hit the top two of the A major, the 3rd and the 8, and then again pull off on the open G, and then hit an open D, and then play the 5th and the 3rd of a G major, then an open D, and then a C9, and then an open D, and then a D9. Right? So, slowly. There it is. All right, so one more time. Really fast. So, you know, you can imagine having to sit down and, like, you know, having 5 hours to figure this out. I mean, I had to have the rhythm guitarist, Dave Weiner, sit down and be like, okay, it goes like this. This finger goes here, this finger goes there. And then we worked it up together. And then when we're in rehearsal, we run it 1,000,000 times in a row to make sure that we have it tight. So you get it, you work it. And again, this is one of these things, you know, you get a lick like this, it's really easy to just kind of try and jump in and just learn the thing up to speed. Don't do that. You won't have a good time doing that. Just slow it down. Make sure you can play it a couple times in a row at the slow speed. You know, work the metronome up slowly, little by little by little by little. You know, Steve likes to say that he wants to play something 10 times in a row perfectly before he bumps up the metronome. I don't have that kind of patience, but I do it a couple times in a row before I bump it up. So here's that lick again. B minus. There we go, that was better. So I've practiced this a lot, but I still need to kind of come back to it all the time and get it right. And then, you know, when you're gonna go do something like this live, you just gotta trust that you can do it and then just go up there and just let it rip, you know? I would say I got it right maybe 85 to 90% of the times that we did it live. And that's gotta be good enough because you're not a machine, you know, you're not a robot, you're a human being. You're not gonna do everything perfectly. You do your best, you practice a lot, play the song live, make sure everybody out there's having a good time, move on to the next part. Don't sit there and think about what you did or just didn't do because that's just gonna be a trap for making more mistakes down the road, all right? So that's just one part of it. The song is incredibly long and incredibly complex. I'm not gonna sit here and describe the whole thing, but there is a live solo, because I'm gonna be playing along to the live version, the version from the Where the Wild Things Are live CD and DVD. And there is a solo that I worked out with Steve. That was the solo that I did in the show, and I'm gonna be playing it here later in the song, so. All right. I wish myself luck. You can wish me luck too on this one, please.